will be covered today. So you can drop off. Of course, if there are new questions, then you'll get to hear about those. But content-wise, from my side, it's going to be the same, and then answering questions after that. Thanks. We will be starting in 2 minutes. 2 more minutes. All right, awesome. Let's get started. So, thanks a lot for joining today evening, and thanks a lot for being vested users. You guys are amazing and one of our biggest supporters. So, thanks a lot for doing that. The agenda for today is essentially from my end. I'll just walk you through the new collections that we launched recently. What are vests? You might have seen them on your dashboard when investing, and then we'll do an AMA where please keep posting any questions that you have on the chat here, and I'll be happy to answer that for you. So in terms of let me just quickly share my screen. Yeah, so in terms of collections, that was one of the first things that I wanted to walk you through. It's essentially a new UI that we have created. I'll go through one of my test accounts to just show you what we have created and the thought behind it. So what we did is we basically increased the amount of stocks available to 1,000 stocks and ETFs on the platform, and this is a curated list of stocks which we have segregated according to different collections, which helps basically simplify the decision making process while making an investment. So this is where you'll see it on the web app. The collections that are here, and they are according to different sectors. They're also according to themes. So here you can see what the return that theme has given for that particular day. You can also see different geography as well as by ETF providers. And then the last one is non-equity investments. So typically not non-equity, but income-focused investments that you could look at. So taking one example, say for example, you wanted to invest into the Europe market. So then just going into that collection allows you to look at what European listed companies are available, or you can also look at the ETFs that allow you to invest into that geography. So there's a German ETF, there's an Italy ETF, there's one which just holds Europe as a whole. Similarly, you can look at China, Southeast Asia as well if you wanted to get exposure to that. There are different ETFs. So what we've done is we've curated this list of ETFs. For example, there are 4 S&P 500 ETFs in the US. We've curated the list to make sure that we make available to you the lowest expense ratio and the highest volume ETFs that you can invest into. There are also some themes. So cannabis has been one popular theme on our platform. There are a bunch of cannabis companies that are listed in the US and have been growing pretty rapidly. And then there is the large sectors that are there. So if you want to look at a technology company, then you can just go to the information technology sector and look at what kind of companies are there that are listed in the information technology space, as well as ETFs. If you want a list of all of the companies that are from the US, then going to the US geography is kind of the best way to see the biggest list. One of the things we've been thinking of adding is a collection which includes all stocks and ETFs that are available on the Vested platform. I think that's one feedback that we have received as well. So that's essentially how you can look at different stocks and ETFs via our collections feature that we have added. Now, briefly moving into what is the Vests feature. So that was one of the things that I wanted to highlight as well. So Vests essentially the product created because when we launched, a lot of people were asking us on advice on how to create portfolios when investing in the US. There are some folks who are more do-it-yourself investors who do their own research and then buy companies according to their own research. Whereas there are some like me who don't essentially get a lot of time to do research or might not have the expertise to do research. And so to help them through their investing journey is why we launched Vests. Currently, there are 5 available. There's one more actually that we're launching, and that will be a technology-based Vest. So more on that coming soon. These are basically created by our in-house research team, and they either follow different themes or different strategies. So if you look at themes, we have 2 thematic ones currently. There's one which is called digital cash and one which is called software as a service. And then there are the others which are based on strategies. So for example, All Weather is based on Ray Dalio, who's the largest hedge fund manager of the world. He, based on his public strategy, which is investing across stocks, bonds, commodities, and gold. This strategy is meant for lower risk investments. So in times of volatility, such a strategy helps protect the portfolio, and over a longer run, it gives a stable return. So if you look at the returns for All Weather, when during such times of volatility, the West gave around 3% positive returns versus 14% of negative returns. Over the longer run, it doesn't beat the S&P 500, but what you can see is the volatility, the movement of the graph is much lesser than the equity market. So these are the different type of vests that we want to make available. Here you can see the allocations that are across gold, commodities, bonds, and the stock market in the US. There's a bunch of literature that we have written on how we created this. We're in the process of actually simplifying this entire interface, and something new will be coming up soon in terms of the interface here. Similarly, in the theme-based portfolios, these are more company-specific, where we use certain criteria to shortlist companies. These might be higher risk because there is a certain sector exposure that you're taking. And so for example, for software as a service, there are different companies that are operating in the software as a service space. And we've allocated across that to maximize your risk adjusted return, which is basically for a certain amount of risk that they're taking, you should get the maximum return. And so that there is this theory called the modern portfolio theory, which a lot of robo advisors have been using, and that's the one that we have used to create our portfolios as well. And what we do is from time to time, we rebalance these portfolios. We are mindful that there are tax implications if you sell. So keeping that in mind, we optimize the best time to sell a particular company or add new companies. And so for that, we will send you a notification where you can opt in to rebalancing, or else you can continue your existing portfolio if you want it, and you can track the returns for that existing portfolio. So that's a little bit about VEST. And going forward, what we'll also be doing is we'll be adding VEST from different companies or research houses that have additional expertise in the US market. And these will allow you to then get exposure to some products which only residents in the US would have, and allow you to diversify your portfolio by having funds that are also managed by people apart from vested. So that's the longer term plan for these portfolios. That's pretty much what I wanted to share in terms of the vested platform. This webinar is really for answering any questions that that you might have, and I'll be happy to clear any doubts. So let me see what kind of questions are there on the chat, and I can answer them one by one. So Pratyush has a question on, thanks Pratyush for being here firstly. And how's the vested team doing? And over the period, how has the team grown and their customer base? Yeah, thanks for the question, Pratyush. We are thankfully all in good health. And one of the things that has worked out very well for us is that we have from day one been a remote team. So we've all been well equipped to kind of handle working from home, because our headquarters in the US. We have offices in Mumbai, Bangalore. So we need to ensure that communication is happening properly across different time zones, as well as productivity is not hampered by working across different offices. So thankfully, because we are based in different geographies, we are not as affected by suddenly working from home. The team has grown substantially. Now we are more than 20 members from when we started off as 4 founders in the beginning last year. And the customer base has been growing quite rapidly. We have now more than, can't share the exact number, but more in the tens of thousands that brokerage accounts that we have opened on Vested, and now millions that have been invested into Vested accounts from our users. So it's been exciting times. March has been a very strong month for us, where a lot of people have wanted to get into the US markets because most of our users are new investors in the US markets. So they have wanted to take advantage of the fall, and a lot of them have started investing. Sareem has a question on, can we create our own VEST similar to small cases in India? Will allow one short stock purchases. So that's a good question, Sareem. That's actually something that we are working on. That's the next version, where a few of our users have actually asked us about that. And Saurav is, I think also on this, he has been talking about it as well. So I think there's definitely interest in people doing their own research and creating their own vests. And that's something that we are evaluating and thinking of how we can create it into a product. Anand asked, regarding, I hope you can hear me, Anand. Okay, yeah, you can. Okay, cool. Pratham, can we suggest our own vest as well as based on the investor we want to follow? Yeah, actually, that's the same question, and that's something that we definitely are working on, and is something that we want to make available to our users. In terms of how do you pick stocks for a particular vest, what is your research approach? So Chetan, you can actually go into each of these vests and read about the approach that we have taken. So it depends on the theme. So for example, if they are theme-based vests, then we have curated companies that have a particular exposure to the theme. So for software as a service, this is what we have done in terms of picking companies. And then once we pick the companies, what we do is we essentially use Monte Carlo assisted mean variance analysis, which is basically the modern portfolio theory, which I was talking about, which optimizes the risk adjusted return. So it ensures that across that portfolio, you can get the allocation, which is the best returns with the risk that you're taking. So you can always read about the research that we have done, and happy to explain in more detail as well if you have any questions. But the research is done by a team in the US essentially, and based on that, we want to keep launching more and more portfolios as well. Okay, yeah. How often do you rebalance the vest? So it depends on the vest particularly. For example, the all-weather vest is something that we don't need to rebalance very frequently, whereas the software as a service vest is something that will come up for rebalancing soon because certain companies have dropped out of our criteria, whereas certain companies have entered that criteria. And so based off of that, we'll be sending a rebalance notification pretty soon. There's a question on, we have a vest focused on high yield dividend planned out? If yes, will it be coming out sometime soon? That's a good suggestion. I think there is an ETF actually that's available on high yield dividends. If you just go to, if I'm not wrong, if you just go to the dividends section here, you should be able to see Vanguard's high dividend yield ETF. So maybe that's the one that you could get started with. If there's no need to create a new vest, if there's an ETF available, then we won't create it. Yeah, thanks, Saurav. That's the one. So while buying and one second, the chat went up. While buying and selling, why am I getting full profit? Is there no tax deduction? So Rohit, the tax is payable at the end of the financial year in India. There is no tax deduction directly in the US because there's no tax payable in the US. So the only tax deducted is on the dividends, which is at 25%. So if you go into your history, you'll be able to see the dividend tax that is deducted, but on the gains, tax is payable in India at the end of the financial year. And that we'll essentially now be providing a report to all our users who have some kind of tax payable. Yeah. Is there a set frequency for vest rebalancing? What I said is ad hoc. So essentially, quarterly is when we reevaluate each vest that needs rebalancing, and if there is no need, then we don't go ahead to rebalance. So it depends on the vest essentially. And if there is a need to rebalance, because of the tax implications, we are mindful of over rebalancing. What is the total amount? Why is the total amount in cash not displayed on the screen? It only happens when you want to buy. Yes, Manoj, if you have suggestions, then please do send them our way, or you can send it to me at viram@vestedfinance.co. Happy to address them and incorporate them if they're definitely valid. In terms of cash being displayed when you want to buy, it only happens when you want to buy. Okay, so yeah, when you buy, it's you can see it. You can also see it here on your dashboard. I don't know if that answers the question, but maybe we can look at it offline. If you could just drop me an email, then happy to speak with you and see if we can incorporate that. Any new technology implementation for reducing remittance fees? Yes, that's a very relevant question and something that we are working on actually very, very aggressively. There should be something that we have soon. We cannot talk a lot about it, but that's one key pain point currently in the user journey, and that's something that we are working with banks for simplifying as well. Is there a plan for people in different continents getting investing through Vested? They have a local account in. Yeah, Pratyush, that's actually a very good question. And one of the things that we are now focused on is also enabling. So it's essentially will be restricted to non-residential Indians, so NRIs for now. But we've seen actually NRIs from countries sign up on the platform, and so one of the things that and they can very much do it. There's no stopping them. So. Essentially, people from different continents can invest as long as they are not US citizens or US residents. So regulatory wise, we don't cater to US citizens. But apart from that, if you're an Indian resident and have a local account or an international account as well, you can do that. Or if you're living abroad, you can use the Vested platform as well. Just to double check, the monthly charge is 0.042% in a particular vest. That's correct. So if we invest 1,000 in a vest, the monthly charge will be 0. Yeah, that's correct. That is exactly what the charge will be. The tax payable is only when we take out from money. Pratham, the tax is payable when you sell. So when you sell, your profit or loss is essentially booked. So if there's a loss, then you can offset it against the profit, or if there's a profit, then the tax is payable in India when you sell. Between selling and bringing the money back, then there is no taxes. Is long-term and short-term capital gain, are they? Yes, that's correct. When you sell the when you sell the stocks is when the gains will be applicable. We will be providing a report as to what your gains look like based on the income tax laws that are there in India. Hi Mukund, how can we track the corporate actions with respect to the stocks we own? That's a good suggestion, actually. That's something that we can look at adding. Yeah, noted. That's something that definitely I think would be useful for people to look at when they're looking at their portfolio. Currently, however, I would say that there are some websites that allow you to do it. One of the websites that I use is called Seeking Alpha, and they are pretty good in terms of just an analysis of the company. But having it on the Vested platform would be better, actually. So let us add that to the list we can implement. Is tax calculated once we get the money? Siddharth, the tax is calculated when you sell the shares and you book your profits, essentially. 2 suggestions. Dark mode. Yeah, I'm a fan of dark mode as well. There are a lot of UI changes that we want to make before that, though. And so the focus is on improving the trading experience. And then eventually dark mode is something that I personally am a fan of. So we can do that. Webull offers real-time refresh rate. Yeah, that's one of the things that are before the dark mode in our pipeline, and we should definitely have that as well. So working on it. Thanks for the suggestion. In-app withdrawal fee, Anand, yeah, actually the withdrawal fee, so earlier it was $35 when we started off. We've been able to bring that down to actually $11. So now on the website itself, I think we were making the change today or tomorrow to $11. That is going to be the correct fee. Going forward, in fact, we are trying to reduce it to further $2 or $3. As we get more and more volumes, we'll be able to bring the fees down. Nominee facility. So please do reach out to us. In the US, there is a concept of a beneficiary, essentially the same as a nominee in India. We are now adding it in a few days' time for all new accounts, but for existing accounts as well, we can add a beneficiary to your account. Just drop us a mail at help@vestedfinance.co, and we should be able to add it. Manoj is saying, having a tough time transferring the funds, need to get more options. I'm in Jamaica and got USD to invest, but no channel to send as my bank's not really. Okay. Opening a US bank account is a very tedious process, something that we eventually might do, but currently it becomes very tricky. However, Manoj, you can use any of the money transfer options, right? We see a lot of people transferring money through Currency Cloud or TransferWise or Western Union. You could use any of those as well to load your Vested account. Let us know if you want us to look for different options. I'm not must options, but we have seen people using these as well. Fund transfer is such a pain. Yes, definitely is. I agree. We are working super hard on it and should have something very soon on simplifying that process. Is it possible to transfer money from DriveWealth to a US account or use it to buy a service or product in the US? That's a good question. That's something that for a medium term is what we're looking at. You can transfer to a US account which is under your name currently. So right now, because of anti-money laundering concerns, you can only transfer funds from an account that is under your name or withdraw into accounts that are under your name. Yeah, and that account can be anywhere in the world though. What is the account type CDonate in our monthly statement? I think it donates cash accounts. Let me get back and confirm that for you. But as far as I understand, it's the CDonates cash accounts because they're not margin accounts essentially. Do we get a stock certificate for buying stock as an actual proof that stock is bought from exchange? So Rohit, we've looked at this multiple times, but there's no concept of a stock certificate in the US markets essentially. So what happens is this concept of basically in India, because you have the Demat accounts, the shares are held in your Demat account, whereas in the US, there's a custodian model where the shares are held at the custodian in the name of the broker. And so the broker, it's practiced across the US. So for trillions of dollars, this is the exact same practice. And the broker has under their ledger the brokerage accounts that they have opened, and under that you can see what your holding is. So the stock certificate is not available. But what is available is a transaction confirmation and a monthly statement, which is used as proof by the regulator in the US as well. So brokers are supposed to give you these confirmations, and they are available under the activity section on your vested account, which will act as proof for your trades. I cannot see the status and details of the withdrawal initiated. I would suggest if we have one. Okay, that is a good suggestion. Currently, we don't really see a lot of withdrawals actually. And so what we do is our customer success team gets in touch with you if you do have a withdrawal initiated. Going forward, we'll make it definitely more transparent so that you can track it. Any idea what's an average cut an ETF takes of the amount that you invest in? So basically the expense ratio of an ETF, right? Shibu, the expense ratio depends. So for example, the index ETFs are super cheap. I think the Vanguard ETF that invests in the S&P 500 is like 0.05%. Let's see. It depends on then what is the underlying asset that they're investing in. But the S&P 500, let's see, where is IVV? Okay, one of these. You can go and check these expense ratios here. So this one for the S&P 500 growth is 0.1%. For the Russell 2000, which is including all small caps, is again 0.1%. So it varies from 0.04 to about 0.5% as well. Got it. It makes sense. The key value addition that we offer there is kind of that allocation across different ETFs, because it's a tricky thing to just hold an S&P 500 ETF versus a more balanced approach across, say, the stock ETF, commodities, bond, and gold. So the 0.5% that we charge is basically for maintaining that kind of a ratio across an entire year. How to handle US tax liability due to dividend payout. So that's something that we will help you, Shivam. That's something that's that'll be coming up. So what you have to do is essentially there's a form 67. We'll guide you through how that is to be filled, or your CA will basically know either how that is to be filled. But that's how we'll help you with that dividend process. It'll be a report that is easy to understand. So no need to worry about it. VO is cheap, yeah. The high yield dividend vest. Correct. Okay, got it. Let's see if we can add different kind of options related to vest. The one that we are currently working on is a technology related vest, which basically a sneak peek is like these will be companies that have technology moats and large technology companies essentially. I would prefer a dividend vest. Can we invest in vested? There used to be an angel investing option. Now currently no fundraising is happening. But if there is a new round and angels are interested in the next round, there'll likely be more institutional rounds. So, but the question is a good one. I would prefer dividend. Okay, understood. So a lot of these actually, if you look at, you can see the yield of these vests as well whenever you look at them. So for example, the all-weather portfolio has a 1.7% dividend yield. There might the Swensen portfolio, which invests also in real estate, I think will have, or because I haven't invested in it, I can't see the yield. But these portfolios also have good yields if you want to look at them. But a specific dividend one is noted, and that's something we can look at. Will we have a cheat sheet on how to file? Yes, definitely, Anand. We'll guide you as to how you file from it. The 142, the 1042 tax report is just the mandatory tax report that we provide from the broker. We will get a different report which is customized to the March to March financial year which we have here, and so that will be relevant for our filings here. The 1042 just outlines how much dividend income that you received and the interest income that you received. Cool. That's I don't see any other. Okay. We have a few minutes. So we are at 30 minutes. We have a few minutes. If there are any other questions, happy to answer them. Vested is based out of the US. So we are registered in the US and have our subsidiary in India. What are the criteria that you use for adding more companies? Any particular rationale of performance or negotiation with the companies, or just adding as you go along? The criteria is something that we have internally defined. So as an investment advisor with the SEC, we have basically very fiduciary duties for any user that is there on a platform. And so we need to justify any addition that we are doing. And so as we expanded into 1,000 stocks, we did a lot of thinking as to how we can expand that and what kind of guidance that we can give to our users as well. So the basic criteria is that we have certain market cap limitations that we adhere to. And then across different themes, if we see an emerging theme, then we add those themes and add those companies. So there is some different structures that we use to add different companies. If you have any particular recommendations, and if you think they fall under any of the themes, or it's a new theme that we can add, then happy to look at that. There's a lot of kind of thinking that goes in behind what companies we should add, because the basic thing is we don't want a lot of people to take exposure to super small companies that they might not know of at all and then lose money, right? It's a very new market for everybody. And so we want to ensure that the investing happens well and that people can generate wealth over the longer period. The funds lying in Vested's margin account are invested in a money market fund. What is the rate of return? So Mukund, the rate of return that you're earning is 1.6%. On the cash, that is annually 1.6% on the cash that is lying in your account. What is your revenue model specifically, if you can share? So the revenue model is based on a few things. One is we do not want to charge commission because the cost of commission to an end investor. So essentially, I used to invest internationally when I was working in investment banking. And the cost of commission used to be so high that it didn't make any sense for me to build a portfolio internationally. So that is something that from day one, we have enabled zero commission. For us, the revenue generation is either through B2B partners. So we have certain partners who offer US investing to their client and charge certain fees, or through different products that we will keep adding, such as Vest is one of them. As we see more value-add products that we can offer to our users, those might come at a certain price. Is there risk in owning fractional shares? Rohit, I would say there is no risk essentially. It's a very common thing in the US. Even the larger brokers in the US are offering fractional investing. So, of course, there is some risk involved, which is minuscule. I would not worry about it at all because it's a very common behavior in the US, which is the first time that it's come to India through the US markets. Who is your biggest competitor in this space? So we have been lucky to be the first movers in the space to offer a zero commission platform. However, as people see that this is something that is achievable, there are definitely going to be companies that come after us. During those times, we'll count on your support and hope that we've been able to offer a good experience and keep improving so that we can then keep adding users to our user base. Let's any estimates about the number of users on Vested that have total investment in excess of 100? Also, 1 million, 1 million because of the $250,000 limit. 1 million is not really achievable in 1 year. Also, an idea about the size of capital currently. So, Shubham, these are numbers that unfortunately I cannot share in detail. However, we do see the average size of investments being anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000. On both sides of the spectrum, we have users. Our highest user has about $150,000, whereas we have some folks who also do $200,000. So the goal for us is to make this available to every investor. We don't want to be biased as per the amount that people are investing, because it's an opportunity that we believe should be available to all people to diversify their portfolios and build wealth over the longer period of time. In terms of size of capital, it's now in millions of dollars and is growing quite rapidly. Our competitors have tied up with Indian banks to provide direct services. When will Vested tie up with banks for providing direct services to the channel? Yeah, that's a good question, Ankit. So it's a kind of question of business model as well as partnership. So for us, the goal was to go B2C directly, directly to the retail investor to enable this offering. Going forward, what we are doing is we are partnering with existing brokers as well as fintechs to be able to offer this service. And you'll see some exciting news there pretty soon. However, having said that, Vested will still be the brand that is associated with US investors, because we do believe that being based in the US, having our SEC license, we have a unique position to be able to offer US investing and offer insights into the US markets, and we definitely want to keep capitalizing and improving on that. Okay. Thank you, Mukund. Please do share the word. So a humble request would be, if you do use Vested, if you like it, then please do tweet about it. Yeah, you guys are our early supporters, and the recommendation from an early supporter is what always helps us a lot. And if you do have feedback, then of course, definitely do give that to us as well. We'd be happy to improve. There are posts. Yeah, if you just follow us on LinkedIn, there are posts that keep coming up, and also they're usually similar blogs that we write, and then there's some of the other new content that we keep posting. Any stock on the Japan space? Vishnu was asking. So Vishnu, Japan, there is a ETF that invests in the Japan geography, and so let's see, it hasn't done great in the last 3 months. There's EWJ, and it invests across Toyota, Sony, SoftBank, Mitsubishi, etc. So I think one of the things that you can do through the US market is basically invest into a bunch of different geographies and look at what kind of companies there are. So yeah, Sony is also available. Let's see, there is Toyota as well that you can directly invest if you want to, or these ETFs are a good way to hold country-based exposure. So accessing DriveWealth directly, if you reach out to us, we'll give you a link where you can verify your holdings with DriveWealth using your vested credentials. Accessing it directly and trading there won't be possible. But if you want to verify it, then definitely you can log in their platform and see what kind of holdings you have. What are the ways to limit risks for the investor if ever there arises a discrepancy? Does Vested provide some support or cover a liability there? Yeah, so from the Vested perspective, I mean, the SEC is somebody who holds us accountable for everything. They come check our platform as well, and we have yearly audits with them, and they're a very strict regulator. So we have a lot of kind of compliance requirements that we need to adhere with. And if there are any liabilities on your brokerage account, there is insurance from the Securities Investor Protection Corporation up to $500,000 for each brokerage account that you open. Or is the Vested? So our CTO Ying, she joined us from Google and essentially has been leading the engineering effort, and security is one of her key priorities. And happy to kind of put you in touch with her if you want to directly ask her this. But from my perspective, what we do is all our data is encrypted and held in at AWS. We don't share any of the data that we collect with any third party. And the next thing, we'll also be implementing a 2FA to keep your portfolio secure as well. you permitted to have a backup broker? Yeah, definitely. So one of the things that has happened in the US is there are multiple players actually that have come up with these kind of services the same way that Drivers provides it. And so as we grow, we'll be evaluating who provides the best costing so that we can provide the best kind of pricing as well as service to our users. Awesome. So I don't see any new questions. I'll give another minute if there's anything else. Yeah, we can have multiple connections if required. It's on the essentially the best execution that can be provided. Is there any way in which we could opt for not keeping it there and let just stay as such because there still lies risks there? Yeah, Saurav, that's a good question. So it's actually part of like all brokerage accounts at Drivers are so now they are in fact swept into a bank account. So it's not really lying at a money market fund. This change happened very recently, and that bank account is also insured with the FDIC, which insures all bank accounts in the US up to $250,000. So I would say you don't really need to be worried about the cash that's lying there. It's not a money market fund now. It's actually in a bank account that's paying 1.6% interest. Cool. I think that covers most of the questions. So thanks a lot for joining in. One humble request: do tweet about us if you like it. Oh, one question: are any banks preferred banks internationally? Sorry, Santosh, I didn't exactly get that question. Is there, do you mean any banks that you might have an account outside of India? There's no preference as such if you're asking regarding that. Cool. Yeah. So do tweet about it if you guys like it. And oh yeah, Rohit, can you share more information about why international diversification is important? Yeah, definitely. That's a very relevant question. And so the way we essentially talk about it is basically there are four pillars of diversification, right? The first pillar is there is asset class based diversification. So you invest in real estate, you invest in gold, you invest in equities. And the second is you diversify according to industry. So you have banking, you have pharma, you have technology. The third is time based diversification. So you're essentially entering the market at different points in time. You're not going all in one particular time. So SIPs help us do that very well. The fourth pillar, that's the one that's been missing in majority of our portfolios, is geographic diversification. If you look at US portfolios, individual investors there typically have about 10 to 15% invested internationally. But for us, until now, it was always very costly or not an easy process to be able to access the international markets. And so that's where the international diversification comes in, where it allows you to diversify away from that single country risk that you're taking by investing all in one particular country. Also, diversifying the currency exposure. Because if you look at the last 10 years, the rupee essentially has depreciated about 3 to 4% every year. And while your wealth might be increasing locally, at a global level, that rupee depreciation kind of hurts the wealth, right? So now, by diversifying currency exposure, investing in US dollars, you're basically hedging against your INR returns as well. So it helps both in terms of country diversification as well as currency diversification. That's a good question. Also, I think there are some stocks that by itself operate internationally, even Toyota, Sony. Yeah, so I mean, a lot of these companies are global in nature, right? So there's not a particular geography that these companies focus on, a lot of these big companies. And so an ETF might be a good way to look at that country exposure if you're looking at that. Ideal investment share in international market, I'm not sure I understand that, but if it relates to what company to invest in, I can't exactly give advice as our investment advisor duties. So unfortunately, won't be able to answer that. Cool. So I think that's pretty much it. Ken, thank you for taking time out and joining. And if there's anything, please let me just drop my email again. It's viram@estatefinance.co. Happy to answer any questions and answer any feedback. Have a great day. Take care. Stay safe. Thank you. Oh, when will you be launching in London and Hong Kong? So, Ankit, if you're an NRI living in those geographies, you can use the platform. Just drop me an email, and I'll be able to help you with what is to be done. Oh, London Stock Exchange. Yeah, that's a good question. So for now, the focus has been, can we enable US markets and increase education about it? Because through the US markets, you can essentially invest into different parts of the world as well through these ETFs. The exchanges themselves is something that is a little bit down the line, not immediate, but eventually we will offer and be able to allow people to trade in these markets as well. Cool. Thank you very much. The Indian LRS scheme only for US, not really anywhere where you want to move money out. Perfect. Any other questions? Please drop me an email. Happy to answer them as well, and jump on a call also if needed. Great. Thank you. Take care.